Positive Partnerships Making Friends webinar. My name is Michelle Hambley and I will be facilitating today's webinar. I'd like to start by asking you all to think about your intention today. What information is it that you're after? What issues are you seeking assistance with? Whilst you think about this, I'd like to remind you that the most important thing is you and your knowledge of your child. My intention today is to help you feel a bit more comfortable about the idea of talking to your child about friendships. I'd love it if at the end of this webinar you thought that you're not alone in feeling the way that you do and that you have lots of support to assist you on your journey. If you walk away with at least one new idea today, then we have achieved what we set out to do. The characteristics of autism can have a direct impact on a child's ability to make and maintain friendships. A child with autism may have a different understanding of friends than a typically developing child. The need to have friends varies from person to person. What's important to remember is that there are a number of strategies to assist children with autism to learn about friendship and develop skills to make friends. Before we can work on making friends, we need to have a good understanding of what friends are. This will be different for each person. However, there will be some common themes. Some qualities of a good friend include someone who will support you no matter what, someone you can trust and who won't judge you, someone who won't put you down or deliberately hurt your feelings, someone who is kind and has respect for you, someone who will like you because they choose to, not because they feel like they should. Someone whose company you enjoy. Someone who makes you smile. It's often reported that children with autism have one good friend. Is this enough? Of course, there's no right or wrong answer to this question. It's the quality of friendships that counts. When we think about how we support our children to make friends, it's important to remember there's a variety of ways we can do this. It can be through sporting clubs or team sports, play dates, opportunities in the playground at school, through social skills programs. Video modelling is a popular strategy, and other programs like the Circles program. YouTube has a variety of clips for families and for children of all ages explaining friendship and social skills. This particular clip we're going to watch is about Audrey, a teenager with Asperger's, and is a good example of the use of a digital social story about anxiety.
Hello, my name is Audrey, and I have Asperger's. I wanted to talk to you today about how I calm down when I am feeling anxious. One of the first things I do to relieve my anxiety is to read a soothing book. My brain needs to be taken away from whatever is causing it so much stress. A soothing book can be a great way to get away from my anxiety. I take a deep breath. I know there are going to be times when I feel anxious and I need to get out of my head, but I can't just run away. For example, when I am in school. But I can still get focused on my body by focusing on my breath. I take deep breaths, inhaling to a count of 10 and exhaling to a count of 10. I focus on how my breath feels in my chest and my nose. This helps to get my mind off whatever is making me anxious, so that my body can calm down. I exercise. Sometimes I can't talk myself down from that feeling of anxiety. It's just too strong, and I can't think clearly. In those cases, exercising is a good way to get out of my head and into my body for a while. I do something that gets my heart pumping, something that's physically challenging, so that I can focus on my muscles and my lungs, rather than focusing on my anxiety. I smile. I can make myself feel better, just by acting as if I feel better. As the muscles in my face make a smile, my body responds, and I feel a little bit happier. I feel calmer, and most of the anxious feelings go away. I talk about what is going on. Talking about what is happening and what I'm anxious about can sometimes make the feeling go away. The trick is to make sure that I talk to someone who isn't going to make me feel worse. So I choose someone who is a good listener, like my mother or father. My grandmother is a good listener too. Lastly, I make a list of everything that is good about my life right now. Making a list of all of the things that are going right helps me to realize that life is good. In other words, I count my blessings. So, these are the things I do to alleviate my anxiety. If you have Asperger's, I hope these tips will help you too. Thanks for listening. Goodbye.
The planning matrix is another useful tool for identifying the impact of specific issues and developing strategies to assist. Remember that many of the strategies that develop friendship skills also develop other skills. For example, visual supports, areas of interest, and role modeling are all strategies that might support the development of social skills as well as other skills. The Positive Partnerships website has lots of information about the planning matrix, and it will explain the matrix further. However, you can use your planning matrix for a range of strategies, including practicing turn-taking with your child, teaching your child what a friend is and is not, teaching your child social skills, specific social skills. It's important to remember it's not just enough to teach social skills in isolation, however. Children need clear explanations about why, when, and how a social skill is used. You can use social scripts to help children understand social situations and to explain the benefits to the child of learning these. The planning matrix can support the explicit teaching of different rules in different social situations. For example, how you would teach social interaction in a supermarket is quite different to how you would teach it in a family get-together situation. You can teach what to do when things aren't going his or her way. You can role play with your child how to join in a game. Some children may need very structured role-play scenarios to practice the skills required for social interaction with others. How can you help your child with autism make friends at school? Parents need to have a partnership with their child's school to assist their child's social interaction. You can work with your child's school to use programs based on your child's learning characteristics, such as visual supports or reward systems. You can work with your child's school to develop visual material and written scripts in sequential steps, such as social scripts and cue cards for specific social interactions. You can encourage your child's school to develop programs that relate to your child's special interests, things that they can engage in at break times. With support of the school, you can teach your child the rules of social interaction. For example, when to interrupt, or about how friends don't have to be exclusive. Role play can occur both at home and at school and reinforce and reward appropriate responses and interactions. You can ask your child's school to identify peers with similar interests to your child. You could suggest your child asks a friend over and plan for what activities, how long, and where this play date might occur. You can also seek assistance from your child's school to help with access to clubs and activities to do with his or her interests. The Positive Partnerships website contains an online module about making friends that you might like to complete. We encourage you to join and like our Positive Partnerships Facebook page, a national online community of support where you can share and ask for ideas or talk about a particular issue your child may be having. During the Positive Partnerships face-to-face workshops, we share the titles of these books, which are useful in exploring and teaching a variety of skills, including friendship and social skills. There are lots of useful books to support the teaching of friendship and social skills. Visual supports can assist the teaching of friendship and social skills. They can also assist consolidation of knowledge and skills and increase independence. Some examples of different visual supports include social stories, the Circles program, and comic strip conversations. I invite you now just to take a moment to reflect on what you've learnt today. Are there any questions that you still have? What is one thing you can do to support your child to make or maintain friendships? We hope from this webinar you've got a few ideas to assist you in helping your child to develop and maintain friends. And we leave you with this final thought.